So we've just had the budget, the autumn budget, just over the road at the Palace of Westminster. And here is my first reaction to the budget and what it means for you guys as property investors. We're going to look at the direction of travel and what the government is going to do about inflation. We're going to look at a new property developers tax and what exactly that means. We're going to look at what they're going to do about the annual investment allowance and also some major reforms to business rates and how they can help you guys as property investors. And we'll also look at what they haven't touched, such as capital gains tax and pension contributions. So that's all coming up. My name is Ranjan Bhattacharya. We put out these videos after every single budget. Now, if you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon so you're notified as soon as we upload new videos. So let's just dive into what's just happened. So it's been a very interesting budget for property investors. Let me break it down for you right now. I think one of the things I found very interesting was this statement of direction. Now, as you know from my previous videos, there have been umpteens amount of government debt that's been piled on during this COVID crisis. We've had tons and tons of quantitative easing. So they've kind of set a little bit of a direction of travel on that. They're going to set up a new charter. It's a charter on borrowing. And that's basically saying they're acknowledging inflation, first of all. They're acknowledging inflation of around 4% next year. But they're specifically saying that if they're not going to borrow for everyday, day-to-day government expenditure, that's got to come from taxation. Government borrowing or any extra government borrowing outside of emergency times like COVID will specifically be for capital investment projects, infrastructure projects. And I think that's a very good idea. It's a very good direction of travel, and it should allay the concerns that many people have about just adding on to the government debt and thereby continuing to increase the inflation thing that's going on. Now, there's a property developer tax. There's a property developer tax for property development companies which are making in excess of £25 million profit. Now, this is allegedly to pay for the Grenfell cladding crisis, but as you can see, it's very indiscriminate because it's punishing people who may not have even been involved in the cladding crisis at all. So what is announced is that a property development company making more than £25 million profit will pay a 4% additional tax. Now, he announced the tax rate that he's charging in this budget, but before the budget, they did kind of leak out some details on how this might work. And this, I think, displays a little bit of a worrying direction of travel. First of all, when calculating development profit, they're not including mortgage or interest, basically interest that you'd pay on bridging for financing and development, or the cost of interest on actually financing the development of the project. That is not counted as an expense when calculating this profit. It's also for development across a group. So if you've got separate limited companies, SPVs for individual projects, those will be discounted. It will be the £25 million profit will be calculated across the entire group of companies and will exclude any interest costs as expense. And the other worrying thing about that developer tax is it still applies to developers who are doing build to let. Now, that's a little bit interesting, really, because if you keep the property or retain the property for long-term rentals, then of course what they're going to do is decide on a notional profit that you would have made had you sold the property when it was completed. Now, that's a little bit of dangerous in my view, because you have a trigger point for paying a tax, and that trigger point does not actually equate to a time where you receive any cash inflow. So that may make things very, very difficult. Now, I think although this tax won't affect many smaller developers, it just creates a worrying direction of travel in that the more you develop, there is a point at which it may be worth stopping simply because, you might as well just stay under the 25 million profit band, simply not to trigger that extra 4%. And when you actually factor into account that interest, which is one of the biggest costs in doing a development project, is not factored in, then a lot of medium-sized developers will reach that level probably sooner than they think. Now, we already know that corporation tax is going to go up. It's going to go up to 25% in 2023. from its current 19%. Interesting murmurings on the annual investment allowance. Now, this was set at £1 million. This is basically an allowance for you to invest in stuff for your business and all of that. That's going to be now extended. That investment allowance is going to be extended to March 2023. Now, business rates. This is very exciting indeed, and was a little bit unexpected. I expected actually that he would just kick this tin can down the proverbial alleyway. But basically he's retaining existing business rates, but he's made a few interesting reforms. So in line with this green agenda, there's going to be a certain amount of business rates relief for doing green stuff. So bung a solar panel on your roof, or have a... So in an effort to appease the Insulate Britain mob, there's a little bit of green relief here. If you put a solar panel on your roof and all of that sort of stuff and adopt green measures, you will be entitled to some business rates relief. Now, this is an interesting one, which is a business rates improvement relief. Now, traditionally, if you decided to have a commercial building and you decided to make an improvement to it, like bung in some air conditioning, then actually it would put your business rates up. Now, what they're going to introduce is a business rates improvement relief. So if you improve a commercial building, you'll actually get some rates relief for doing that. Now, the Chancellor in his budget speech specifically gave as examples of the sort of improvements to commercial property as being air conditioning and CCTV. So I guess the scope of things that you can do to a commercial property, it'll be anything that's fixed really to the building. There will be an element of business rates relief. How much relief you'll get, I think it hasn't been disclosed yet. That will come in the devil in the detail over the next few days. There's no increase in the business rates multiplier, which was, I guess, to be expected. But this is the big one, really, for the retail and hospitality sector. If you're in the retail and hospitality sector, so your gym, your shop, your hotel, I guess, there is a 50% discount in the business rates that you pay, up to a maximum of £110,000. So that's going to help a lot of small hospitality and restaurant type businesses with their business rates. So what was not mentioned was anything to do with CGT. I think that was a concern for a lot of people, that they would change the CGT, capital gains tax, that's payable. So that's a can that's been kicked down the road. I don't think it's the right time to do that now. So that's a can that's been kicked down the road. Another area where a lot of people had concerns were pension contributions, particularly for people contributing into their SAS or SIP, directors' pensions if they have companies and the like. There's been no changes to any of the annual allowances there, so that's good news for people looking at those sort of things. Now, of course, as property investors, you're interested in your booze. There's been some major changes to alcohol duty. Of course, alcohol duty was brought in 1643, I understand, to fund the Civil War. Basically, the stronger your booze, the more you'll pay. That's the reform they're bringing in. There's no rise in fuel duty accelerator, because obviously we're paying too much for fuel as it is. Living wage has gone up, not the minimum wage, it's the living wage has gone up to £9.50. So those are just some of the highlights for the budget of autumn 2021 and what it means for you guys as property investors. It's been fun standing out in the freezing cold here in Downing Street as we're listening to the budget speech just over the road there in the Palace of Westminster. I have to hand in my press badge now as I'm just about to be thrown out of Downing Street. I'm going to see you guys in the next video. We're going to come up with more detailed analysis of this budget. This is just the first cut that from my kind of views, if you like, just on the budget speech itself, but more detailed analysis later in the next coming days as we delve through the detail, because the devil with these budgets is always in the detail, and the speech is all very rah-rah in the House of Commons, but they're going to publish much more detailed descriptions and they'll put the I's and T's and flesh on the bones of some of the woolly words that you may have said in the speech in the documents that will come out over the following days. And we'll bring you all of that on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon so you're notified as soon as we upload those videos. See you later. Bye for now.